It was one of those parties where the music felt louder than the conversations, where laughter bounced across the room, and everyone seemed eager to outshine one another with energy and charm. I arrived with my wife, Clara, expecting a night of fun, casual dancing, and maybe a few good memories. We came early, grabbed drinks, and mingled with a few friends. At first, everything felt normal until I noticed how often she glanced across the room at the same man, someone I had seen before but never really noticed. He wasn't particularly impressive in size, yet there was something unsettling about the confidence in the way he leaned against the wall, smirking each time Clara looked his way. The moment I understood what was happening felt unreal. Clara, laughing and moving through the crowd, walked straight toward him and offered her hand. He took it eagerly, and I stood frozen as she danced with him, twirling, laughing, leaning in closer than any friend ever should. My chest tightened. It wasn't anger. It was disbelief, hurt, and a stunned curiosity about how she could do this in front of me, her husband. Others noticed too. Some exchanged awkward glances, while others tried not to stare. I stayed calm. I didn't want a scene. I didn't want to shout or humiliate her. I wanted to see what would happen if I remained composed. That's when I made my move, not in anger, but with precision. I approached a woman standing alone, watching the crowd, and politely extended my hand. "Care to dance?" I asked, my voice steady and confident. She looked surprised, then smiled. As we stepped onto the floor, the energy shifted. People began to notice. Where Clara had been the center of attention, eyes slowly turned toward me. I led my partner smoothly, moving in time with the music. The effect was immediate. Whispers spread. "Did you see that? He's dancing with someone else now." Clara's smile faltered, her confidence slipping as she glanced in my direction. I danced casually, but my eyes never left her. She seemed to realize, little by little, that this wasn't jealousy. It wasn't revenge. It was a quiet display of control and composure. Each time the other man tried to wink or gesture, I simply strengthened my presence on the floor. The crowd naturally gravitated toward calm confidence. Clara's grip tightened briefly around his arm, then loosened, uncertainty settling in. I noticed the shift around us. People were watching, waiting, sensing something meaningful unfolding, and Clara felt it too. The music changed, and the floor grew more crowded. I spun my partner with ease, and a soft gasp rippled through the crowd at the grace of the move. The man Clara danced with attempted a flashier flourish, but it was clear. He couldn't match the steady confidence coming from me. Her eyes met mine. I didn't smile or mock her. I simply let her see, without words, that I had taken control of the room, of the moment, and most importantly, of myself. She felt it. Everyone felt it. The mood shifted from light-hearted fun to intense curiosity, like they were witnessing a slow, elegant standoff. Then came the turning point. The man beside Clara stepped forward, trying to reclaim dominance in front of the crowd. I moved closer, not confrontational, just present. Clara froze. He noticed too, his smirk fading. The crowd sensed the tension, their murmurs growing louder. I didn't speak. I didn't threaten. I didn't need to. My calm, measured presence said everything. In that moment, Clara realized her choice hadn't gone unnoticed. It had been met with dignity, grace, and control she never expected from me. She stepped back, releasing his hand. For the first time that night, hesitation showed in her movements. The man's confidence cracked. I guided my partner through a slow, intentional turn, gliding past them as the room took notice and began to whisper. Clara's expression shifted. Shock, disbelief, and regret blended across her face. She had assumed I would laugh it off or, worse, cause a scene. Instead, I flipped the moment without raising my voice or creating any drama. I had reclaimed not only my dignity, but also the quiet power of presence she had long taken for granted. By the next song, the crowd's attention had completely shifted. I danced with ease and confidence, while Clara lingered near the edge of the floor, unsure where to stand or what to do. A friend tried pulling her back into the dance, but she hesitated, caught in the realization that everything had changed. People whispered about what they had witnessed. Some looked impressed, others stunned. And Clara stood still, unable to hide her surprise or the dawning understanding that her choices carried consequences. Consequences that didn't need confrontation or anger to be felt. When the music ended, I returned to our table with my partner, smiling politely at those around us, calm as if nothing unusual had occurred. Clara followed shortly after, her face pale and tight. I didn't need to speak. The message had already been delivered through composure, confidence, and action. That night, she understood that even subtle disrespect in public never goes unnoticed, and that sometimes the strongest response isn't confrontation, but a quiet, graceful display of self-respect. By the end of the evening, the party had settled, but the tension lingered. People still whispered about the moment, about the shift in energy, about the calm man who took control without raising his voice. Clara never mentioned it. Not that night, not in the days that followed, but I saw it in her eyes, a quiet, undeniable respect. That night marked a turning point in our relationship, a subtle yet powerful reminder that composure, presence, and timing often speak louder than anger, confrontation, or humiliation. And in the silence that followed, I knew the lesson had been learned by her, by everyone, and most importantly, by me.